I never imagined a quiet suburban neighborhood could turn into a personal battlefield, but that's exactly what happened when Karen Matthews, our HOA president, decided my house was hers too. I'd been living in Oakwood Estates for about 3 years. It was picture perfect. Manicured lawns, pristine sidewalks, and a homeowners association that enforced every rule like clockwork. Most neighbors followed the rules quietly, but I had my fair share of run-ins with Karen over minor things. Leaving my trash can out a few hours too long, or planting flowers that weren't officially approved. Nothing, however, could have prepared me for last weekend. It started over my brand new solar panels. I'd gotten every necessary city permit and even submitted all paperwork to the HOA Architectural Committee. They approved it without issue. Everyone, except Karen, who had been on vacation during the meeting, returned home to find sleek black panels on my roof. Apparently, they offended her sense of style. Friday morning, I was working from home when I heard it. That rapid, sharp knock I'd come to dread. Karen's knock, the one that screamed, "Drop everything and answer immediately." I sighed, saved my work, and opened the door. "Those panels need to come down immediately," she declared, standing there in a crisp beige pantsuit, perfectly coiffed, looking like she'd stepped out of a real estate magazine. No greeting, no niceties, just demands. "Good morning, Karen," I said calmly. "The Architectural Committee approved my panels. I have all the paperwork if you want to see it." Her eyes narrowed. "I did not approve them, and as president, I have the final say. That committee made a mistake. Those panels are an eyesore and are lowering property values." I kept my voice level, despite my rising frustration. The bylaws clearly state committee decisions are final unless appealed within 10 days. It's been 3 weeks. That timeline doesn't change because you were on vacation. Karen's face flushed slightly. "I need to inspect your roof from inside to document the violation." I almost laughed. "You're not coming into my house. That's not in the bylaws." She turned, phone in hand, already dialing who knows which ally on the board. "Expect a formal violation notice by Monday," she threatened. I closed the door, shook my head, and went back to work, thinking that was the end of it. I was wrong. The next day, Saturday, I went out for lunch with friends. 2 hours later, I returned home and felt it immediately. Something was off. Maybe intuition, maybe the little details I'd subconsciously noticed, but my gut told me something had gone terribly wrong. The house smelled faintly of unfamiliar perfume. I froze, listening. Upstairs, I heard movement. My heart raced as I quietly pulled out my phone, ready to call 911. "Hello? Who's there?" I called, trying to stay calm. The footsteps stopped, and then I saw her, Karen, at the top of my staircase, holding a camera, utterly shameless. "What the hell are you doing in my house?" I demanded, stunned. She descended the stairs like she owned the place. "As HOA president, I'm responsible for investigating violations. You refused an inspection, so I had to document the alterations myself." I blinked, disbelief overwhelming me. "You broke into my home. That's illegal. How did you even get in?" She waved her hand dismissively. "I didn't break anything. I used a spare key from the association lockbox. All board members have access in case of emergencies." My jaw nearly hit the floor. That lockbox was for emergencies, water leaks, fire hazards, not HOA presidents barging in for aesthetic disagreements. "This is an emergency," I said, trying to keep my voice steady as I dialed 911. "This is breaking and entering. The police are on their way." Her confident smirk faltered, then returned. "I'm an authorized agent of the HOA. I have every right to inspect for violations." "No, you absolutely do not," I snapped into the phone. "That's not how any of this works," I said firmly as I reported the break-in to the dispatcher. For the first time, Karen's bubble of entitlement seemed to burst. She started hurriedly gathering her things, muttering about uncooperative residents and how I was overreacting. "I need you to stay right where you are," I told her. "The police are on their way." "This is absurd. I'm the HOA president," she huffed, her voice rising with indignation. "Breaking into someone's home is not part of your duties, Karen. It's a criminal offense. I replied. The police arrived remarkably quickly. 2 officers listened as I explained the situation, while Karen kept interrupting, insisting she had the authority to enter any home in the community. The male officer looked baffled, while the female officer kept a professional poker face. Ma'am, she finally said to Karen, being on an HOA board does not give you the legal right to enter private homes without permission or court order. But the association bylaws clearly state. Karen began, her tone dripping with condescension. No HOA bylaw supersedes state law. The officer cut her off firmly. Using a key you're not authorized to use is still illegal entry. I handed over my security camera footage, which clearly showed Karen trying multiple keys before finding one that worked. The officers exchanged glances. Ma'am, the male officer said, Karen, please turn around and place your hands behind your back. Her face drained of color. You can't be serious. You're arresting me? Do you know who I am in this community? Yes, ma'am. You're being arrested for breaking and entering, he confirmed as he began cuffing her. Your position does not place you above the law. As they read her rights, her expression shifted from disbelief to outrage, and finally, fear. This wasn't a petty HOA dispute. This was a real criminal charge. Neighbors peeked from windows and porches, drawn by the unexpected police activity. I gave my statement, shared copies of the footage, and agreed to come in later to finalize paperwork. 3 days later, an emergency HOA board meeting was called. Nearly every homeowner attended, buzzing with the news of Karen's arrest. The vice president began the meeting bluntly. As many of you know, Karen Matthews was arrested on Saturday for illegally entering a resident's home. She has been charged with breaking and entering and released on bail pending trial. The board has convened to address this serious breach of trust and vote on whether she should remain president. Karen sat stiffly at the front, her usually pristine appearance slightly rumpled. When given a chance to speak, she stood, clearly expecting support. This has all been blown way out of proportion, she quivered. I was simply maintaining property values and community standards. Not by breaking the law, someone shouted from the back. Karen's face flushed. I've dedicated 5 years to this community. I've kept our neighborhood pristine. This is how you repay me? The vote was nearly unanimous. Karen was removed from the board and her position as president. Shock and disbelief contorted her face. She grabbed her purse and stormed toward the exit. You'll regret this, she hissed, trembling with rage and humiliation. This community will fall apart without my leadership. The vice president called after her. Oh, and Karen, the board has voted to pursue legal action to recover the $20,000 for legal fees and the replacement of the lockbox system. We're also providing all information about your unauthorized use of emergency keys to the prosecutor's office. Karen froze, hand on the door. For the first time, she was truly speechless. The color drained from her face as the financial and legal consequences sank in. Without another word, she disappeared into the night, leaving behind a neighborhood already buzzing about a more respectful, law-abiding HOA leadership.